Hey guys, it's Nick. Today I want to give you guys my top 10 bank fishing safety tips. Fishing is something that brings a lot of people a lot of enjoyment, but as with all things, you're only going to enjoy it if you're safe. So today we're going to go over the top 10 bank fishing safety tips. Number 1, hydration. When it comes to hydration, guys, you want to make sure that not only that you're hydrated during your trip, but before and after. So you're going to be in various weather conditions, and I find it very important to hydrate before you go on the trip, hydrate during the trip, and also hydrate after the trip, whether that means keeping something in a cooler in your car, stopping at a gas station for water after your trip, or however else you want to get the water. Make sure that you're staying hydrated the whole time. Number 2, dress for the weather. Though this may sound obvious, weather conditions can change. I know there's different views on what to wear when you're outside, but something I always recommend, especially if it's cold, is to wear layers. So it depends on how you fish, how much movement you get. You may be warmer with less clothes. So oftentimes I'll be walking along a creek or a lake and I'll get too warm, so I can take my coat off and I'll have a long sleeve shirt and a t-shirt underneath that. That way you can shed layers. On the opposite end of the spectrum, if it's really warm outside, you want to make sure that you're wearing breathable fabric. You also want to make sure that you're protecting yourself from the sun. And this leads in to number 3. Number 3, sun protection. So guys, the sun is an amazing thing. We need it. It gives us vitamin D. It makes us feel good. But also we need to protect ourselves from it as well. So a lot of people recommend sunscreen. And I do as well. Skin cancer is a real risk, and we don't want to expose ourselves to that. Personally, I wear minimal sunscreen, but I do wear sun shirts. So I wear long sleeve, breathable shirts, as well as a hood, and it also has the gaiter that covers up my face. When you're talking about sun exposure, not only is it coming from above, it's also going to come from the reflection from the water, so be sure to keep that in mind. Also, when we're talking about sun exposure, we also want to be concerned about our face and eyes. So I always recommend a hat and I recommend sunglasses. Not only will this protect you from the sun, but it will also protect you from the possibility of a lure coming back at your face. That way, if you do get hooked in the face, it won't be the eye or the head. Number 4, protect yourself from bugs and ticks. When I'm talking about bugs, the type of bugs that I'm mostly concerned about are ticks, gnats and flies, and mosquitoes. Sure, you want to be mindful of bees and wasps, anything that can sting you or injure you in that way, especially if you're allergic. But I'm mostly looking at gnats. There's always gnats and flies around water. They can bite you and it can cause little bumps that irritate you. Also, you need to be worried about mosquitoes, which can carry disease, and ticks. This goes along for you, anybody with you. After your trip, you always want to give yourself a look over and make sure you don't have ticks on you because they do carry disease. Number 5, I recommend to everybody to carry a knife while fishing. Anytime you're working with anything with any kind of string or rope, specifically when there's water near, it's a good idea to carry a cutting tool that is easily accessible. A lot of people will carry a knife that you can open with one hand. That is a good idea. But any kind of knife, easily accessible, that you could cut rope or you could cut line with is a good idea, especially if you're getting out in the water. Number 6, you want to make sure you have a first aid kit with you. Whether this is in your tackle box, your backpack, or your car, it's good to have a first aid kit. They sell basic first aid kits at any drugstore, most grocery stores, Walmart, anywhere out there. Get a basic first aid kit and look for bandages, band-aids, alcohol wipes, antibiotic ointment. They also have bug bite ointments, other things like that. Something else I highly recommend to keep in there is a wire cutter. In case you're in an emergency situation, you're unable to seek assistance, and you have a hook in your hand, you will be able to get it off and out if needed in that kind of situation. Number 7, situational awareness regarding animals. So it's always good to keep an eye out when you're out in nature, especially around water. There's a lot of animals that come in and around water. Whenever I'm fishing, I often see snakes. I've seen various, beavers. There's also dogs that either are strays, have been abandoned, or with people that you need to be careful about. It's also possible to see deer, bear, and spiders can also be common where we're going fishing a lot of times. So with that, be mindful of your surroundings and look up, how do I keep safe from a bear? How do I keep safe from a stray dog? And be mindful, so if you can see that situation ahead of you, it might be best just to avoid it altogether. Number 8, situational awareness regarding people. Just like with animals, people can be unpredictable, and it's good just to be aware of your surroundings. There's a lot of cliches about people going fishing and drinking beer. As you fish, you'll find that most people don't, but a lot of people do, and people who are intoxicated aren't always making the best judgment calls. So be aware of your surroundings, and if you see a situation in the future, it may be best just to avoid it altogether. Also, when it comes to situational awareness regarding people, I recommend to everybody, if possible, keep calm. There are very few situations in which becoming angry and attacking someone helps out. So if you're able to avoid a situation or keep your head and leave, that's usually the best option. Number 9, watch your step. When you're out by the water, we come across all kinds of obstacles. This can be giant boulders, which you can fall off of, riprap and small rocks, which you can slip and slide on, down trees and wooden structure, which may be blocking the way to your fishing spot that you want to go to, but they can be rotten, they can fall apart. If you fall and hit your head and you wind up in the water, you're in a bad situation. There's never a time when that is a good situation. So look down, watch your step, and be careful out there. Number 10, guys, let somebody know where you're going. Whether this is a friend, a significant other, a family member, coworker, whoever, let somebody know where you're going, when you're getting there, when you are planning on leaving. If for some reason you don't have cell phone service, your phone gets wet and you're unable to reach somebody and you're injured and unable to get up, this could be life-saving. So this allows people just to know where you're at, and if something happens, and things do happen, maybe somebody can find you and know where to look for you. Okay guys, that wraps up my top 10 bank fishing safety tips. If you guys have any other recommendations, let me know in the comments down below. So this does not cover everything. There are plenty more things, but this is just a little bit of advice for maybe someone just getting into fishing, just to keep in the back of your mind when you're going out. Because again, you're only going to enjoy something if you're safe while doing it. So that's it for this time. Until next time.